Hello everybody, just getting set up here. I'm gonna do a live demonstration today and show you how I made these cards using our Boardwalk Fun bundle. Just adjusting my camera a little bit, trying to get everything in view. There we go. Mostly in view. Hope everybody's having a great day. I've been playing with this collection this morning. It includes the Boardwalk Fun stamp set, and it has some coordinating dies that go with it. It also has some designer paper. We're going to feature some of this designer paper today on the cards, and the designer paper is called Beach Boardwalk 12 by 12. I will include some links after I post the video to the products that I used today so that you can order them if you're so inclined, if I inspire you to want to play with this bundle. I think it's fun. It's just been so cold out that it's kind of fun to just think of palm trees and beach and Ferris wheels. So I'm going to go ahead and move these cards out of the way so that we can get started. Just trying to make sure I'm live here. I am. Okay. So we're going to just move these out of the way. And then I can zoom in a little bit more since I just need to do one at a time. So we are going to start with this Celebrate. What I love about this card is that the designer paper really does all of the work. We have a full sheet of this designer paper that you can cut it into 6 pieces. This is what half of the sheet looks like. So you can cut it into 6 different pieces. You can make 6 cards out of one sheet of what I'm about to show you. And basically all the work is done. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna move this over here. And I'm gonna get out my foam mat so that I can do a little stamping. And we are going to use on this one the word Celebrate that is part of this stamp set. And we're going to use our black ink. And what I've already done is I have punched out of some of the designer paper. I have punched out a banner using our stylish shaped dies. I use these dies all the time. I'm pretty sure I use them on multiple cards today. They're one of my favorites. I'm going to be very sad someday when they retire them. So I've already cut the banner out, and I'm going to just get my black ink, open it up. I'm going to go ahead and ink up my stamp. And I'm going to just stamp it in the center. Now, if you were doing this at home and you had the stamp set and the dies in hand, you could stamp it first and then cut it out with the dies. But for the sake of the card kit that I'll be creating at the end of this video, you'll receive the punched out piece. And then all you have to do is do the stamping. And you can use whatever words you have on hand. Then we're basically ready to assemble. That's how easy this card is. So I have taken a piece of black cardstock. It's been a while since I've done a card out of black. it just seemed like it was perfect for this. And I've cut it in half, scored it in half. I'm actually going to raise this up a little. I feel like I'm a little close. And so I've already scored it. So we're going to just fold it in half. Use our bone folder. Give it a good crease. And I have a piece of white cardstock that is going to go in the middle. And the inside, we're going to just use 5 little dots of glue. Actually had somebody ask me the other day, does that really hold it? And it really does. It's amazing. Like, they can make this bottle of glue last a very, very long time. So put that on the inside. Set that aside for a minute. And then I've got a piece of the designer paper. This is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm just gonna adhere this to a mat that is fresh freesia. And the mat is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we're just gonna adhere that. I'm gonna get out my Stampin' Seal, and on the bottom where I'm gonna add some twine, I'm just gonna add some adhesive on the back side. And I've just cut a piece of twine. This is our black twine, and I'm gonna just adhere the end to the adhesive that I put on the back so that I can then wrap it around. And we're gonna wrap it around twice. And then adhere it on the back side. And that's the whole point of that adhesive. It's just to help get that twine adhered and tight on the card. You can trim off a little excess. And then we're ready to add that to our card base. Again, with the 5 dots. I'm gonna add a couple extra on top of the twine as well. So that just goes on our black cardstock base. And then we just have to add our banner. And for that, I'm going to use our dimensionals, and I'm gonna just cut I love using all of the dimensionals, so you can cut the regular size ones in half, or you can use the edges, which is what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna just come in and put some dimensionals on the top and the bottom of the banner. Sticking to my fingers. There we go. We're gonna peel off the backing. My fingers aren't working. Here we go. And then we're ready to adhere that to the front of the card right over the twine that we put on there. And just like that, that's card number 1. And out of the full pack of designer paper, you could make 12 of these cards quick and easy by using just this one sheet of designer paper. Okay, moving on. Card number 2. I'm hoping you can see this okay. This one, we are going to use the roller coaster stamp that is part of the stamp set. Get out my foam pad. If you don't have a foam pad, I highly recommend you get one. It is absolutely essential, in my opinion, for stamping using our photopolymer stamps. So what I've done now is I have cut out from our designer paper another pattern. This is what's on the back side. It's a little water pattern, but I've cut out, this is 4 by 5 1/4, and we're going to just stamp the roller coaster across the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and ink it up. This is a pretty big stamp, so you just want to make sure you got ink on the whole thing. Looks good to me. And we're going to just kind of line that up across the bottom. Trying to stand up so I can see. Oh, I might have gotten a little crooked, but that's okay. We'll see. Yeah, it's a little crooked, but you know what? It's a handmade card, and it's not supposed to be perfect. So it's hard to do when you're recording because I've got the camera and the mount between me and what I'm stamping, so it just makes it a little more challenging. Now the next thing I did was using some balmy blue cardstock. One of the dies that looks like this punches out the little cards, like the little roller coaster cars, to go on the track. So I've already done that just to save a little bit of time. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere those carefully with just a little bit of glue. Don't really need a lot. Stuck my finger. There we go. And then I have a piece of balmy blue cardstock that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and we're going to mat this to that. The card base I'm using today, which is actually pretty exciting. This is a color I really like, but I don't use it a lot. This is our Lemon Lolly. It's just, you know, I love, if you don't know me, yellow is my absolute favorite color. So I use daffodil all the time. But this, I just wanted something that was a little bit more sunshiny. So I went with the with the Lemon Lolly. And I've got a piece of white cardstock to put on the inside. Oops, that was a big drop of glue. I'm going to put that on the inside. Then we're going to add the roller coaster mat on top of the cardstock. And then we have a little more stamping to do. So another fun die that's in the coordinating die set is this little ticket. And so I have punched out of another piece of designer paper, which the backside has a pattern on, one of the little tickets. And we're going to stamp on it the words "Happy Birthday." You know, if you cut mats out of our cardstock, out of our designer paper, and you cut them to 4 and 5 1/4, you get like a strip left over that's 1.5 inches by 12 inches long. And that is what I cut this out of, was that extra strip. I really like to try to use every piece if I can. I'm actually going to come in and cut off this side just using some scissors. You could use your paper trimmer as well, which is actually how I did the first one. And then I've cut out, using the Stylish Shapes dies again. This is a Lemon Lolly, and I cut out a circle. Kind of wanted it to feel like it was the sun. And I'm going to adhere our happy birthday tag onto our sun. And then we're going to add that to the front of the card. put it up to the edge of the designer paper. And just like that. What a fun card with the roller coaster. So that is card number 2. Card number 3. Now this one, I did see somebody make a card very similar to this. And so I started with hers, and I just changed it a little to make it my own. And I honestly don't remember who it was that I was inspired by. My husband and I are learning that if we don't write things down, we kind of forget. I can't decide if that's just because we're getting older or if that's just normal, because I'm not so sure I've ever been able to remember things without writing them down. So I'm going to set aside all of my supplies here and show you all the little pieces that go into this one. There's a lot of little pieces that go into this, but it's so fun. So we have a Ferris wheel die that is part of the die set. And so I've just taken our basic gray cardstock. Yeah, maybe it's smoky slate. I have to look and see. And I ran it through and I cut out our Ferris wheel. Then we have another die that cuts out 6 of the little cars at a time that go on the Ferris wheel. So I ran that through and I used, let's see, what did I use? I used Strawberry Slush, Daffodil Delight, and Pool Party, and Timid Tiger, so that we can put together our Ferris wheel. And I'm going to start with that because this will take just a second because there's a lot of gluing that has to happen. And so what I'm going to do is actually put a drop of glue on a couple of where the cars go. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to pick up the cars and lay them in place. So we got the Pool Party, the Daffodil Delight. Next I'm using the Strawberry Slush. There is actually, if you look at it, there is kind of like a front and back, like one side has a rougher edge than the other. So there is kind of a right and wrong, but it's okay if you get them backwards. We add a few more drops of glue. If you're watching, be sure to comment and say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. There we go. Next is our Timid Tiger. This is so great for just using scrap paper. And that's kind of what I did. I just pulled out some of my scrap paper and tried to decide what colors would be fun and cheerful. Got Pool Party again. Strawberry Slush. Timid Tiger. Oh, need some more glue first. If you work fast enough, you could put glue on all of them and work your way around. So we need Pool Party. And Strawberry Slush. I feel like I missed a color. I did. Wait a minute, I gotta fix it. I think I still have time. Nope, you know what? It's okay. Again, they're handmade cards, so if they're out of order, they're out of order. We'll just pivot. That's the beauty of making a handmade card. No two will ever be the same. And they're all handmade, so they're not meant to be perfect. I'll add another yellow one here. And then we'll add the timid tiger last. There we go. That's what I get for just not paying attention to what I'm doing. Okay. So we've got that done. I'm going to just set that aside for a minute. We're going to go ahead and stamp. So now I've taken some Pool Party and I took the ticket die again. I ran it through and then I cut it in half. So then we're only going to use half the die. And we're going to use Enjoy the Ride for our sentiment. So I'm going to stamp that up. Stamp it on there. Now we are ready to assemble. So this one is going on a white cardstock base. So just a half a sheet of our thick white cardstock. And we're going to score it in half and we're going to crease it. This is another one of the designer papers that's included in the package, and it's just fun. It's got little suns on there. Hopefully you can see that. The back side is just a little bit more just of a fun abstract. And we're going to adhere that to some Pool Party. And the designer paper is 4 inches by 5 1/4. You'll notice I use that a lot. I like to maximize and get as much as I can out of every pack of designer paper. And then, so the cardstock is then 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. We're going to adhere that to our white base. And then we're going to work on mounting our Ferris wheel. And we're going to use some dimensionals for this so that we can pop it off the page a little bit. And actually, I've got some of our mini dimensionals. So we're going to just add a few of the minis. And you really don't need a lot. Like, you don't need to cover the whole. Peel off the backing. If you're ever having trouble peeling the backing off, one thing you can do is take your nail and push down into it, and it kind of lifts the edge. You can also use or take your pick tool to get in there. I usually just peel them off pretty quickly. Sometimes they give me a little trouble, I guess. So we're ready to put that on the card front. And then we just need to add our words, and we're going to just use a few dimensionals. We're going to use little pieces of dimensionals, and because of where we're putting it, it's going to go on this little corner here. I just need a dimensional in this corner, and this corner. So this corner, this corner, and this corner. And how fun is that? I don't normally like cards that take a long time, and surprisingly, this one didn't take that long. Because that one die that cuts the cards out cuts 6 at a time. I only had to run it through 4 times because of the colors I was using. But if you only use 2 colors, you can run it through twice, and it's quick, it's easy. But because I was making 2 cards, it just kind of worked out. I did 4 colors, and I just ran each color through once. And then I really love this little ticket, whether you use it as the full piece or if you cut it in half like I have here on this card. So that is card number 3. We've got one more to go. Our last card is this Hey Sunshine card. And if I'm not using the designer paper in a piece that's 4 inches by 5 1/4, I like to use 3 inches by 4 inches. It just really, you maximize how many pieces and how many cards you can make out of one sheet of cardstock. So we'll start with the stamping and just get that taken care of first. And I have already cut out this piece here. This is from the Stylish Shapes dies. And it is cut out of soft seafoam green. We're going to ink up Hey Sunshine. And we're going to stamp that. And we're stamping it over on the right side. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, it is a little challenging to stamp when you're looking over the camera and the mount, so it is a little crooked, and I'm okay with that. So we have finished our stamping. I'm going to go ahead and close my ink pad so keep it fresh. And we're going to come in with our paper snips. And you can do this on your paper trimmer as well if you would like, but we're just going to cut off the end. And we're basically about ready to assemble. I'll show you. So in our dies, there's also the same die set. There's a couple of palm trees. So I have used these palm trees and I have cut out three in seafoam green, soft seafoam green, and then 3 in old olive. So I actually cut out 2 of the large, like 1 large in each color, and then 2 of the smaller in each color. So we are going to start by working on this piece first. And maybe I should move it so it's in the camera view a little bit. There we go. Now, I have a piece of craft, or crumb cake, used to be called craft, cardstock that I'm going to just take this and tear it. I kind of wanted to have some way of anchoring these palm trees. So my thought was that it's kind of like they're sitting on the beach, like they're kind of in the sand. That's kind of what I was thinking. And I'm going to adhere this to my designer paper that is 3 by 4. And you see, I only put the glue kind of on the bottom because I just want to be able to tuck in the palm trees as I adhere them. So we're going to start with the large palm tree. I'm just going to put a little glue on the top here and tuck it in just a little bit. Then we're going to take the other large palm tree, but in the soft seafoam, do the same thing. We've got a small palm tree that's in old olive. A small palm tree that's in soft seafoam. Another small one in old olive. And one more small one in soft seafoam. There we go. Now, we're going to adhere this piece to a piece of crumb cake cardstock, and this is going to be, since the designer paper is 3 by 4, this is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So we're just going to go ahead and adhere that. On the back side, on the bottom, we're going to get out our stamp and seal, and we're going to add some adhesive because I've got a piece of old olive twine, and we're going to just wrap this around a couple times. I guess I cut it way too long. That's okay. We're going to come back to that piece in a minute. I want to go ahead. I've got a piece of crumb cake that is for our card base, so it's just half a sheet of crumb cake that's cut in half, scored in half. And this one's going to be one that opens like a standing up card. I'm going to give that a good crease. I've got some white cardstock to go on the inside. And if you get this free card kit in the mail with my special this week, you get all these pieces. So all these pieces and envelopes so that you can make 2 of each card that I have shown so far today. Now I have a piece of soft sea foam that is for, this one I think I cut 4 1/8 by 5 3/8 because I knew I was going to emboss it. And sometimes when you emboss pieces of paper, it shrinks it a little. So I just didn't want it to shrink too much. But we are using this embossing folder that halo, hate the halo. Okay, well, it's called Soft Waves. And so it gives you this wave effect. And so we're just going to add some glue. And then on the back side of this other piece, we're going to add some dimensionals so we can pop that up off the card. And we're just going to add that to the front of the card, just centering it. For the Hey Sunshine tag that we created, we're going to put that on here. So we want to, again, cut some of our dimensionals off the edges or the full size so that we can add those. I'm going to add that across our twine. And then the last thing to add is going to be, we're going to tie a bow. And if you get the free card kit, I tie the bows for you. So it will arrive already with the bow tied, and all you have to do is adhere it. So I'm going to just tie this bow. I'm going to get out my box of mini glue dots. This is the best way, in my opinion, to adhere a bow. So I'm going to find the next glue dot, put my bow on it, and then peel it off. And then I kind of like to tuck that glue dot in there. There we go. And then I'm just going to add it so that it looks like I tied it all as one piece, so that I ran that twine around and tied a bow. But I really didn't. I cheated by doing it in separate pieces. And we'll just give the ends a little trim. And that is it. So that is all 4 cards. I'll put some information on the post. If you place a $50 order this week with me before Friday, I will send you the free card kit to make 2 of each card. And if you place a $75 order, then you're also going to get a free adhesive caddy that I am offering this month. I am celebrating 20 years this month as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And so for every $75 order you place, you get a free adhesive caddy. What's in the caddy, you might ask? Well, let me show you. I just grabbed one so I could show you. The designs will vary, but this is what it looks like. And let me bring the camera up a little bit so you can see. It actually sits on your desk, but you can see it includes your glue. It includes a roll of glue dots. There's some tear tape and some Stampin' Dimensionals included. So I believe I calculated it at like a $28 value that you're getting free if you place a $75 order with me this month. I just wanted to celebrate my 20th anniversary and thank everybody that has helped me to get to 20 years. And hopefully I'll continue for 20 more years. Who knows? I absolutely love what I do. So I don't anticipate there be any kind of stopping time for me anytime soon. So thanks for watching, and I will see you later. Happy crafting.